Alright, so I went and put on my lashes and my eyeliner. So you can kind of see it. It's like pulling together a lot better than just with the eyeshadow. Obviously, the lashes make a huge difference. That's all I've done. So now it's time to add some color to this. So I'm going to go through first and with, so depending on obviously your colors and what you've gotten. So I'm going to go through with one of, okay, I'm going to use the 30-second HAC brush, and I'm going to use Wheat to go through some of the darker areas first with this highlight. And this is going to be a little slower than normal just because I am showing you. So first, make your triangle. I'm going to go start with my under eye first. By the way, I normally don't do shadow first, but I did because I was wearing some darker colors this time, so I didn't want that to be like, you know, like getting everywhere and whatnot. So instantly brighter. Okay, so that's brightening up that area. Okay, I don't want to cover the camera. And I got color matched wrong actually when I first, I got sunlit, or I was putting sunlit under my eyes and it was way too light for me. So if you, by the way, I'm going to put in like a troubleshooting guide as well. I mean, in the case that you got the wrong color, which can happen, there's ways to know if you got the wrong color is what I'm trying to say. So we will be able to troubleshoot that and be able to get you the right stuff if that did happen. So I'm just going to put a light layer of this right where there's a lot of darkness and texture here because of my scarring. So that's the first thing I do, is just cover that up. If you don't have any of that, you won't have to worry about this. Okay, so just dab it on a little bit. Okay, cool. So that's all I'm doing for that. And then I'm just going to go through with my color. So my main color, my main highlight color is the amber color. So I'm just going to go through with that and then just add it everywhere else and just brighten things up here. Okay, so first gonna do here, forehead area. I'm gonna go back through here because that wheat's actually a little bit darker than amber, but I use that to first balance out everything on my skin. So I'm just doing it on this, yeah, so the way, okay, so let me explain that. So, because you'll probably be wondering too, and most people have two highlight colors just because we have different areas in our skin and our face. So I'm just putting this right there, and then I'm gonna go and do it on my cheeks. Okay, so let me just explain. I'm not doing this right now on those areas that have contour or where the contour goes. I will do that in just a second, but right now I probably could have used some of that darker wheat around my nose too. I have some dark areas around there. But yeah, take your darker color and go through any dark spots just to balance your face out. And just put it there and dab it on. If you have texture, acne, or anything like that, like I do, cover those areas first with the darker color. And then I'm just gonna, I'm not really doing that on this side just because I don't really have too much texture up here where the contour goes. But if you do have some texture in areas where the contour is supposed to go, yes, the contour has some coverage, but if you want extra coverage, I would just dab a little bit of the highlighter on there first, your darker one. Okay, so I'm done with the highlight. Onto the contour, which now I'm going to use this brush, and I'm going to use Olive because that's the one that I've been really liking first. So I'm just taking some Olive, and then I'm going to start here. And I was also matched as Indigo, but I found that Indigo I can wear it, but it's a bit too dark for me right now because it's winter. So I'm not. So I'm wearing olive, which blends in so much nicer. You can do this if you want, and then just get where that natural shadow would be. Okay, my hair's in the way. Okay, and then I'm gonna go through up here and contour my forehead. It's not showing up super dark on this, but that's kind of, I don't want it super dark right now. This is actually just, so I'm just contouring my forehead a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this same brush and just squeeze it a little bit and then do the sides of my nose. Now that's darker, so I'll have to fix that. Okay, so I'll probably go through here, and then you can always fix it if you feel like, oh, I messed that up or I put too much contour. Just go back with the highlight and just fix that there. Okay. Okay, so I'm done. Oh, contour under your jaw too. Forgot to blend my highlighter a little bit. Okay. And you know what? I'm feeling a little bit of the indigo. And this is especially good if you're on camera. Let's say you're gonna do some videos. You can go through and do something a little bit darker. Yeah, so you see how it's just adding a little bit more. And this brush, like, you can kind of do that. So now I have a little bit more of that chiseled look. And this is great. See, if I was just doing like a daytime, I would not be doing this extra step, but because I'm on camera and I kind of want to show you guys how to look good on camera, I am taking this next step and putting just a little bit darker on. Okay, cool. So I'm done there. I'm gonna do some blush, and you can either use this side, your contour side. I have this bronzer and blush, the double B brush, so I'm gonna actually go through and put some of that blush on. What blush do I want to do? I think I'm going to do my Pink Hollywood. Okay, so I'm putting on Pink Hollywood right on the apples of my cheeks. And this is the blush side of this brush, which once again, super high quality brushes, totally worth the investment, because this is like, these are all the only brushes you're gonna need. So you just want to add this color right on the apples of your cheeks. So just do the little smile and just add like just that natural flush of color right there. And I'm gonna slap some of this on my lips too, because I'm here. Why not? Oh, how pretty. Looks so pretty on camera. It's like a natural. So pink, this is Pink Hollywood, in case you're wondering if you like this this color. It's one of my favorites. There's a couple other favorites that I have, so cool. I am going to set all of this with powder. So I did forget that. So I do have the powder. There's a powder brush. So this is for like your highlight and this is for your contour. I've seen different girls do it in different ways. You do whatever you like. So I'm just gonna take some of that vanilla dust and set my under eye. I think that's probably the most important area to set, honestly. So make sure you do set that so it doesn't crease later. And I like that it's a little bit pointed so I can kind of get in those areas. Okay. And I would put this, yeah. So by the way, if you're wondering, well, can't I just use my powder? I was using my own powder and it made everything look super cakey. So yes, this setting powder is especially made for these foundations because it's not super, it's not super thick, it's very finely milled, so it does what it needs to without making it look cakey. Okay, so I'm putting this on everywhere where I just put on. And if you have blemishes, you can go through, and I probably will do a separate video on this because I actually got pretty good coverage on my blemishes just from what I did. But if you need extra coverage, even outside of what I did, you would just go through and spot treat with, so what I'm using for that is this, no, not this one, that's the eyeshadow brush, this multitasker. So this end of it is perfect for those spot treats, and then this one you can set those spot treats with the powder with this side. So that's what that's for. So I'll show you really quick just for kicks and giggles. So I will let's see, let me see where I have maybe a spot where I could go through a second time. Okay, so yeah, so I've set everything with the Vanilla Dust. Okay, now I'm gonna find a spot maybe I need. Okay, so right here, I kind of don't like that. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my highlight and just dab it on. You know what I totally forgot? I totally forgot to blend all of this. My beauty blender. So I forgot, but I actually blended it pretty well with my 30-second hack brush, so that's why I totally didn't realize that I hadn't blended anything. But normally you will want to blend, especially at the beginning. I feel like now I've got the hang of this makeup, so I can do it pretty quickly with the brush. But if you make sure you have some kind of a beauty blender or the perfector sponge and just go through, and after you put all your cream on, before you set it with powder, make sure that everything's blended really nicely. So luckily I blended my stuff okay, so it doesn't look too crazy. But yeah, make sure you blend it, okay? Let's see. So you can be done at this point. The only extra step, because like I said, I'm going out, I kind of want a little more color, so I am gonna go through with the Cayman bronzer, which is the other setting spray, powder that we have. That's this one right here. So I'm gonna take my bronzer brush and just, because like I said, I'm wanting just a little extra bronzer tonight. I wanna be a little bronzy. Okay, don't mind my weirdness. And then I would just put it on those spots where you contoured. A little bit, just on the high points of your face is where I would put it. It's super pretty. Okay, so back to that. So I just let that spot treat sit there and I didn't do anything about it because I'm forgetting it. So once you spot treat something, you'll want to go back and set it. So I put something on there, and then with the beauty blender, which I thought I had but I don't have it here, you'll want to just barely dab it with the beauty blender. You can use your fingers as a second, a second option. And then I'm gonna go through and just set it with the powder. No, I keep grabbing the eyeshadow brush. They're similar because they're both